We are still talking about, is God setting me up like Job? But Satan's perspective.
Talk less with Terrence.
When I named the topic, I found different. Satan's perspective, how? I mean, people say, hey, well, Satan's perspective. I'm like, no. But then I want us to take it from the angle of the devil in terms of bringing suffering upon someone, right? So now, back to the story. In Job chapter 1, the sons of God are gathered. And then Satan is there. And then God asks, say, have you considered my servant Job? Or have you set your hand upon my servant Job? And then the devil says that, does God fear you? Does Job fear you for nothing? Now, to understand Satan's perspective, we would first have to go into his way of thinking in this scripture. First, when he comes and God asks him, where is he coming from? He says from going to and fro the earth, walking up and down in it. Now, if you read the book of 2 Chronicles chapter 16 verse 9, it talks about God's eyes going to and fro on the earth. So the guy already knew what God, his creator, does. And it's something he's mimicking. So from his perspective, he's doing what God is already doing. God's eyes go to and fro. Like I was saying that God in the previous, God is omnipresent. He can be everywhere at once. So he sits in heaven or wherever he is in that moment, or he's existing in that moment, which is everywhere. And then his eyes alone are going to and fro the earth. So for you to get to 2 Chronicles chapter 16 verse 9, it says, for the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth. So it's going to throughout the whole, to show himself strong on behalf of those whose heart is loyal to him. So first, from his perspective, he understands patterns. Oh, God does this, so he decides to do it too. So he is going round. And then what exactly is he doing in his going round? In the previous episode, we talked about Simon or Peter, and it says that the devil has desired to sift thee. At that point, Peter might not have understood, but later, 1 Peter 5 verse 8, if my memory serves me correctly, Peter comes to understand what it means, the devil desiring you. He tells us that be sober, be vigilant, for your adversary, the devil, parades himself like a roaring lion, looking for whom to devour. So this to and fro, going up and down, walking, all that, the answer is in 1 Peter 5 verse 8, exactly what he was doing. Besides, there are other answers. That's why, like, he comes to still kill, destroy. But this is the one I'm focusing on. He's going to and fro, looking for whom to devour. So in his to and fro, he parades himself like around, like looking for him to devour. So in his up and down as a roaring lion, one person he decides to set his eye upon is someone called Job. Now, Satan's perspective, how does he go about it? So he tells God that, does Job fear you for nothing? So then he breaks it down. He says that, have you not made a hedge around him? One. So first, it presents an analogy that in his up and down or to and fro, when he comes to you, the first thing he looks at is what? You. So he's looking at maybe making you sick. He's looking at depression. Like he's looking at something that will make your being, like you yourself, uncomfortable. That is the first thing he does. Something that will mentally torture you. Something that will worry, like your being, yourself. Like something that will really, really bother you. He first comes to you. And then it says that, so you've made a hedge around him, his household. He presents that's the next thing. Then he checks your whole house. Now in research, I work with research, like we do a lot of research. One of the things we say is a household is a group of people who eat from the same pot. What does that mean? You might be living in a compound house, or in Europe, you are in apartments, right? Now, in the apartments, those who eat from, when, let's say your mother is the person cooking for everybody. So those who eat your mother's food daily, breakfast, lunch, and supper, that is what makes one household. So if you have a cousin who comes there just to eat, perhaps he could be part of your household, or consistently he comes there to eat. everybody living in your house. So we can be living in the same house, but maybe someone has a wife, they eat differently. That's one household. The another person has a wife, they eat different. But assuming they all had just one person preparing the food, that makes a full household. So if you live in a compound house and your grandmother is there and she cooks for everybody, that whole place is a household. But people marry and they eat separately, that makes a household. So enough of the research household. So he now goes to his household, to his family, his wife, his kids. He tries to perhaps do something to them, see if there is an opening he can work at. So when he's coming at you, this Job chapter 1, I think verse 10 going, presents to us how he does it. If he comes to you and he doesn't get you, he goes to your wife, he goes to your kids, he goes to your siblings, your everything, your household. Now, the thing about Job is, it was saying that he was already even making sacrifices for his household. Perhaps if they do something wrong in their parties or the care's gone, he had already made a sacrifice. So then he goes there and he realizes that this place too won't work. I can't get it because what? The guy has already protected his household as well. So I went to him first, I didn't get him. Then I went to his household. I also couldn't get him there. So what next? Finances. He says, and you have blessed the works of his hand. So Christians, if he comes in your home, you yourself, you're okay, and your home is good, his next line of action, Charlie, let's attack the guy's finances. Some way, somehow, many Christians are found lacking there. So he goes to your finances. He's going to make sure he squeezes you so that, Charlie, you'll be broke or something to do with your finance. Maybe it's a school fees you can't pay. Is there something he will? So you first, then your family, then he goes to your family, because your family brings you peace. If your wife is disturbing you in the house or your husband is disturbed, it will cripple down and now affect you. If your finances are not working, it will come back to affect you. It will affect your household because, Charlie, there is no peace. There is no peace. Anyway, so back to what we are saying. So he goes to the guy, him first, family second, and then he goes to his household, his finances, and he realized that the hands of Job have been blessed. So the Job he can't attack, his hands have been blessed. So his hands are part of his body. It can't be attacked. He's already financially doing well. So then he goes to check again and he has possessions in the land. So if he comes and your finances are good, possessions in the land, maybe you don't have a house. So when the rent season comes, out of nowhere, your landlord will say he's adding 1,000% to your hey, what am I going to do? All of a sudden prices have gone up, things are expensive. So the guy also had possession in the land. He had camels, he had things. So even if he his finances were not good and he said, you have increased his possessions in the land. Everywhere he will see this belongs to Job. So he knew he could not attack him from the angle of possessions. Well, you have a land somewhere. All of a sudden, some land guards appear that the land is for them. That's what he was trying to do. But the guy had so many, and he was the greatest man in the East. You dare not mess with him. So this presents that. What am I saying? From the devil's perspective, we begin to understand that one of the things he does first is go to, I can't say it enough, he goes to you, checks if everything is okay with you. If he can attack you with sickness, with thoughts, with something, he can steal your faith, he can sift you as wheat and all that. So Peter, when we think about Peter, he said, go to the last one, I think Luke 22 verse 31, he said, he has desired you to sit thee as wheat, but I have prayed for you that your faith will not fail. And then let me find the scripture. Luke 22 verse, he says, Simon, he says, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan has desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat, but I have prayed for you, that thy faith fail not, And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren, your brothers, your sisters. So he first wanted to sift Peter, so that after he sifted Peter, Jesus is saying that when Peter's faith does not fail, he will now strengthen his household. There are similarities in these two scriptures. When I read, I said, oh wow, this is beautiful. Similarities between the two scriptures. He wanted to first, so he starts first by going to if he can attack you, it's easy to get your household. So he goes first by trying to attack the guy's personality or his being. Job, Peter. When he doesn't get, and the ultimate idea is explained by Jesus that after your faith, so he's attacking your faith. So what he do with you will shake your faith. Or God, Job will be so shaken that he will now curse God and die. So he will come to you after he has not gotten you, or he is trying to get you so that your household will be easier to get, so that your finances will be easier, so that your possessions will be easier. Because if Peter survives this desire of the devil, then what he will do is he will strengthen his brothers, his household. So what am I saying today? From Satan's perspective, there is a process of things he does. And then how does he do it? Is you first, then your household, then the works of your hand, and then your possessions in the land. So things can happen. You begin to sell your possessions because he has attacked you. Like, it is always interconnected. So wherever you might have found yourself, in terms of you wondering that is your suffering, because there are many prayer points from what I've said today, but it's not a prayer session. So infer your prayer points. So we can get talking in the comment section. If you speak, I will reply as many as I can. Yes, as many as I can. So from Satan's perspective, he's looking at things in a God way. What do I mean by a God way? He knows God goes to and fro with his eyes. He goes to and fro physically because he's not omnipresent. And then his desire is to do what? His desire is, he's paraded like a rare lion, looking for whom to devour. So his own is to devour. Then what's next? How is he going to devour? He comes to you first. He comes to your household. He comes to your work and then your possessions. And then he says to God that, stretch your hand and take all that is his and see if he will not curse you. Ladies and gentlemen, Satan's perspective, we are done with it. So our next episode, we are going to learn what Job's hand was in all this. What Job's hand was in all this. Well, we'll understand. People say that he said that what he feared came upon him. Is that really what happened? Join me for the next episode.
Actually, the guy talks too much.